Today, a grand jury sitting in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned an indictment against James Comey on 2 counts. The first count is that on or about May 15th of last year, he knowingly and willfully making a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Count 2, same day, May 15th, 2025, that the defendant, James Comey, knowingly and willfully transmitting in interstate commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill the President of the United States. Both of these counts carry a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years.
Well, some interesting developments today at the Justice Department as another indictment has been handed down, this time by a grand jury in North Carolina against former FBI Director James Comey. This indictment involves the Instagram post that Comey made about a year ago with the writing of 8647 in shells on the beach sand, and the notation at the bottom, cool shell formation on my beach walk. Everybody knows what 8647 means. Everybody knows that that's a direct threat on the life of Donald J. Trump. And apparently everybody in the world knows that except for James Comey himself. But we're going to take a look at his denials. We're going to look at least part of the press conference today from the Justice Department and what it all means for the future for James Comey. And then we're going to take a look at his video response to the indictment. It's a short video, 30 seconds or so, but it's every bit as smug and arrogant as you've come to expect from James Comey. So, but before we get into all that, I want to welcome everyone to the Right Side View. I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me on the channel and clicking on the video. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to take a look at this press conference that was held today at the Justice Department. I've cut it way down. There was a lot of stuff in there that you guys didn't need to really see, but just the important parts we have in here on this one. But just a quick note before we look at the video. This guy, Todd Blanche, who is the acting attorney general, this guy seems to be getting things done, and I like him. So far, I like him. And when Donald Trump fired Pam Bondi, he didn't have any replacement ready to name. And like he did when he fired Kristi Noem, he had a replacement immediately, and they've already been confirmed. And Mark Wayne Mullen already been confirmed. But when he fired Pam Bondi, he didn't have anybody to replace her. And I thought that he was going to take his time to find the right candidate, because since his first administration, the one thing I can say is Donald Trump has not done a good job of picking attorney generals. Jeff Sessions, William Barr, Pam Bondi, terrible choices, every one of them. And I think Trump knows that. So I thought he's going to take his time and he's going to get the right person, make sure 100%. But now I think, there's been reports that Todd Blanche wants the position of attorney general. And I think Trump is giving him a tryout to see how he's going to do. And that's why we haven't seen any replacement yet named for Pam Bondi. And I think this Todd Blanche is auditioning for the job, and he's doing a good job so far. I think it's possible, if he keeps on going like this with these indictments that are coming down, with the SPLC, Fauci's advisor being indicted today as well. I think he's got a very good chance of being named the next Attorney General of the United States. So anyhow, let's take a look at this press conference, and then we'll get to the response by James Comey afterwards.
Today, a grand jury sitting in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned an indictment against James Comey on 2 counts. The first count is that on or about May 15th of last year, he knowingly and willfully making a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Count 2, same day, May 15th, 2025, that the defendant, James Comey, knowingly and willfully transmitting in interstate commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill the President of the United States. Both of these counts carry a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years. So I think it's fair to say that threatening the life of anybody is dangerous and potentially a crime. Threatening the life of the President of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice. Over the past year, this department has charged dozens of cases involving threats against all sorts of individuals. We take these seriously, every single one of them. For example, just today in the Northern District of Florida, there was a guilty plea from an individual who threatened multiple political leaders, including President Trump. In the Eastern District of North Carolina, where this case was indicted earlier today, there are multiple threats cases very similar to this one, including one where the defendant pled guilty recently to threatening former President Biden, another one that's scheduled to go to trial this summer, another one indicted, an individual was indicted for threatening Tom Homan. I say that to say that while this case is unique and this indictment stands out because of the name of the defendant, his alleged conduct is the same kind of conduct that we will never tolerate and that we will always investigate and regularly prosecute.
Well, beyond that being great to hear, I don't know, you guys have seen the videos that people are putting out and have been putting out for the last, since Trump has been back in office, on TikTok and Facebook, some on X, but you see these being reposted on X because I don't have TikTok, but these threats, direct threats, violent, sick threats against Donald Trump and members of his administration. So those people, you got to figure those people are scrambling after today to erase their videos and their posts online. These idiots that think they can just say whatever they want on the internet and they're protected and nothing's going to happen to them. And obviously they're indicting people. They're charging people, indicting them, and people are pleading guilty and all. You got a good chance of spending some time in prison if you're going to make a threat online, especially against the President of the United States, who is now on his third assassination attempt against him. This stuff can't be tolerated. It's got to be stopped. And, the other thing, too, I don't know if you guys noticed this either, but when you look at a lot of these posts, not just the death threat posts, but the violent, sick, violent posts, the people celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, people celebrating whenever an assassination attempt happens on Donald Trump. There always seems to be one of two professions involved with those people. It's either a teacher or medical field. So what's going on with those two professions? Are they being that radicalized in college in those fields that they're coming out like this? Because some of the most hateful, disgusting, violent rhetoric that I see online a lot of times happens to be from those two professions. So I don't get it. Anyway, that's just an aside. Let's get back to this.
I want to take a moment to thank the hardworking members of the FBI who investigated this case over the past 11 months or so, the United States Secret Service, who also assisted in this investigation, and the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of North Carolina, led by United States Attorney Ellis Boyle, who's standing to my right. This was an investigation that remains ongoing. That's been ongoing for about a year. And that's all we're going to say about it today. I will let the U.S. Attorney Boyle speak now, and then after that, Director Patel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Earlier today,
It's a
a
tough
grand
looking dude.
jury in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned a true bill indicting Mr. James Comey with committing 2 felonies. Count 1, he knowingly and willfully made a threat to kill and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States in violation of 18 U.S.C. 871A. Count 2, he knowingly and willfully transmitted in interstate and foreign commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill President Trump in violation of 18 U.S.C. 875C. Mr. Comey will be given every form of due process all citizens are entitled to receive, to include a trial by a jury of his peers. In the Eastern District of North Carolina, it doesn't matter who you are. We take all threat cases seriously and prosecute anyone who violates federal law, regardless of title or status.
Good.
Thank
That's
you.
the way it should
We'll
be.
just take a couple of questions.
Mr. Attorney General, the Justice Department in this filing today also issued an arrest warrant for Mr. Comey. Is it your belief
Perp Walker.
that he is
That's what I
a
said.
continued public threat? And is there a request also for detention that you anticipate will be made in this case?
So the Department of Justice does not issue arrest warrants, grand juries do. And so the grand jury returned an indictment and arrest warrant. I expect that there will be communication with Mr. Comey's counsel, and we'll go from there. This case will proceed like hundreds of others do every year. There will be some sort of arraignment set by the judge or assigned to the magistrate judge, and when that happens, you'll know about it.
So when Roger Stone was indicted for obstruction of Congress and lying to Congress, no violent any charges of violence or anything like that. They didn't offer him the opportunity to reach out to his counsel and arrange for him to turn himself in to be processed. They showed up at his door early in the morning. 28 armed FBI agents, armed to the teeth, showed up at this late 60s old man store, who there with his wife, and 28 armed agents to bust in and drag him out of there and take him down to be processed. So what's good for Roger Stone is good for James Comey. So they need to do the same thing. I mean, if that's the way that they do it for somebody who's being charged with nonviolent crimes, this is a violent crime. It was no different than if he would have wrote "Kill President Trump" and took a picture of it. He wrote that in shells and took a picture of it. 8647 that's exactly what that means. So I think the guy should get perp walked. I think he should get a visit from armed FBI agents at 2:00 in the morning and dragged out of his house and dragged down to be processed. But that's just me. I don't control anything. So that's just my wishful thinking. Anyhow, so let's take a look now at the video showing his James Comey's response to this indictment. All right, so this is the response from self-proclaimed Swiftie James Comey. Yeah, he actually came out and admitted in public that he's a huge Swiftie. He knows all of her songs. He knows the lyrics to most of her songs. And when people are being mean and nasty and horrible towards him, he actually listens to some of her songs as a coping mechanism. This is a 65-year-old man admitting these things. It's just creepy and weird. This guy's got creep vibes just pouring off of him. At least I think so. And just the fact that he admits to being a Taylor Swift fan at 65 years old, boy, that's an indictable. That's an indictable charge right there, as far as I'm concerned. But maybe I'm wrong. But man, Anyway, let's take a look at what he has to say in his smugness.
Well, they're back. This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago.
More than that, Jimmy.
And this won't be the end of it.
Nope.
But nothing has changed with me. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go. But it's really important that all of us remember this is not who we are as a country. This is not how the Department of Justice is supposed to be. And the good news is we get closer every day to restoring those values. Keep the faith.
Yeah, this guy just, he's a horrible human being. He's cringe. But he's right about one thing. This isn't going to be the end. There's more coming that he's looking, he knows it too. He's looking down the barrel at some more significant charges, especially with the Russia hoax situation, because I think we're going to be seeing some indictments coming down for that whole fiasco. But this guy with the pictures of the seashell thing, we're not buying it. It's a bunch of BS. He's a bull-faced liar, and he's gotten caught. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate you taking the time to watch it, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please click the like button, and please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.